What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Bullets, Barbells, and Barbecue. I'm your host, Brett. Chris, the artist formerly known as Heavy C. We have Matt in spirit, not in body. He's here somewhere.
Philadelphia.
There he is. He's in Philadelphia. Oh, yeah.
So you broke a window.
He's kicking the prostitutes out. And we got Tanner the Head. We have our show partners, Elite Nutrition Omaha. Check them out at elitenutritionomaha.com. Use code B3 at checkout. Or go to either the Omaha or the Lincoln store, and you'll B3.
Get a free shaker.
So all of our 6 listeners in Lincoln can really take advantage of that.
Exactly.
We have Rosewood Block. They make the best cutting boards in barbecue. Check them out at rosewoodblock.com. Use code B3 for checkout as well for 10% off. Speaking of Lincoln, Kevin Schubert. Have you seen that kid? He's a thrower for Lincoln.
Oh, no.
He came up here and trained during COVID. He was a kid. He came in and he was like super nice kid. He's like, hey, do you mind spotting me? I got a set of 3 or I got a set of 5 on squats. And I was like, okay, what are you doing? He's like, hey, it's just 575. And the kid is just like didn't even realize how strong he is.
Yeah.
And then he's been down in Lincoln and now I've seen him squat 7+. I think he did a fucking hang clean with 405. It's kind of like a reverse curl.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But All-American, got his All-American through it. The track and field nationals, got 8th.
Oh, I saw another Nebraska guy took national championship, took gold, I guess, in the 110 meter hurdles.
And then I think some girl won the javelin and set a record with that from Lincoln. So that's it's pretty solid for Nebraska sports.
Yeah.
Getting some kind of national champions out there,
Well, if it wasn't for a volleyball, bowling, and rifle team, we'd be screwed.
The baseball team's not bad.
Yeah, they usually, they've been to the College World Series a couple times in the last, 5 years?
No.
It was
they've been to a regional. They haven't been to a College World Series since 2005, probably.
It feels like it was so close ago. You're right.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it was that long
I
ago.
don't know. What?
College World Series? I think it was Shane Komine.
I don't even know who that is. The fact that you knew who that was.
Is that a name or you just make that shit up?
No, he was our pitcher. He was that Asian pitcher that was really fucking
Anything
good.
about Jabba Chamberlain?
No, there's Jabba too, but I don't think I'm gonna get Jabba mixed up with the Asian pitcher.
Jabba Chamberlain was good until he got fucking a bunch of DUIs.
Yeah.
Where he slowed down progress.
It's been, maybe we went there with Jabba.
And then Alex Gordon?
We haven't been to the College World Series in a long time.
It doesn't seem like that long.
I feel like we've only been there twice, ever.
01, 02, 05.
Okay, 3.
Yep.
Yeah, wow. But they're going this year, right? Or they just in a regional?
They lost in the regional.
Oh, they're done?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck it then. Who cares?
They kind of got screwed. They went in as a 2 seed in the Stillwater regional, ended up having to play Florida. And Florida didn't have a great record year, but they played a lot of really good teams, and it's still fucking Florida. They're in the national championship last year.
The Florida guys were nice. That Hurston Waltrip came in here and trained, and then their coach was good, dude, the strength coach. But that Hurston, he got drafted by the Braves.
Yep.
And then that kid that played for LSU, I saw him pitching the other night for the Pirates. I guess he's a really good pitcher. That guy that went number 1.
Yeah.
He was pretty solid.
There was a lot of Major League Baseball talent in the College World Series last year.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
A lot of mustaches. That guy still has his. But yeah, speaking of college sports, we were talking before, college into pro now, but all the stuff going on with Caitlin Clark. I don't understand. Why would you bite the hand that feeds you?
I think part of it is kind of that rookie hazing that happens in every sport, happens in male sports all the time. You always hear about rookies who get stuck with, $100,000 dinner bills and all kinds of other shit. But I think they're just trying to make a point, and it's really fucking dumb because she's the only reason anyone's watching.
I still don't watch it, so.
Well, maybe that's why people are actually seeing her get hazed, unlike the others, because there's actually people watching now. Because before, no one was really watching.
So 4 of the top 5 WNBA games this year are Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark would have the 4th highest jersey sale in NBA or WNBA.
Well, and like you said, the team hazing was usually within the team. Right, they did the bills or some locker room, whatever shenanigans. But like that girl just fucking hip checking her. Let's say she would have got hurt. That's her right now. That is the golden ticket for the WNBA.
Yep.
They made rules to kind of protect Jordan but then made rules kind of to make it life harder for Shaq. But they're just like letting her, like that girl should have got ejected from that game.
I don't know. I thought it was a little bit. I mean, it was completely unnecessary, but I don't think it's ejectable.
I mean, that's a flagrant foul. I mean, you get ejected for that stuff a lot of times.
Right.
Maybe she's to toughen up a little bit and stand up for herself too.
Well, there's that too.
She does. She does. She goes back after people. It's funny too because she's so damn skinny. You know, like.
Well, yeah, Draymond Green's like, they need an enforcer on the team.
Yeah, because but Caitlin Clark will go back after
an old hockey player that is dressed up like a chick now. Hey, what's up?
I was gonna say it's not hockey.
Just one tooth missing.
Yeah.
Maybe Draymond could just identify as a woman and go play and be her enforcer.
Yeah, I think if they don't, like, if you're gonna flagrantly, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta call it like that girl should get a tackle or some kind of ejection. Otherwise, it's gonna.
But Angel Reese also got freaking throat slammed in a game like the week before. I mean, the lady literally like grabbed her by the throat and she was on the ground.
Well, they should have ejected that girl too.
Yeah.
Was she into it at all? Or?
Why'd you let eyes say?
Yeah. Why did you let go? But also, Angel Reese isn't like super friendly either.
No. I mean,
you talk about karma. Like you talked about karma last week. Like, I mean, if you're going to be a fucking bitch to everybody, it's probably going to come back around to you.
The reason that I think people like Caitlin Clark, and I didn't even mind her and the stuff with Angel Reese going back and forth, is because they play like dudes. They talk shit. They shoot from 10-point past the 3-point line. They freaking like point at each other like, yeah, bring it. Like they're in like.
You mean they make the game exciting?
Yes. They make it exciting, but they play like guys. They don't play like, I mean, believe me, I have watched 0 WNBA games up until Caitlin Clark's been in there, and I still don't watch a game, but I will watch the highlights because that's.
How much was her jersey when you bought it? He was waiting for the Pride Month edition to come out.
Right.
Oh,
Well, I did see something about like what the WNBA now they're going to all fly on private jets.
Charter, yeah.
Starting some, yeah.
Yeah, because of
But
Caitlin
it's
Clark.
like, right, but it's something. If I remember the numbers right, it's like $50 million over the next 2 years to fly on private jets. But like the total revenue for the WNBA is like 18 million.
Yeah, it's something crazy.
like
I think they
that.
could have like doubled the salaries of all the players
Yeah.
instead of flying. Flying private jets. Like they should have been asking for something different.
Yeah, they need a different union rep.
What is the price of an
Listen,
average player?
You don't get any more money,
How much
but
they
you
get
get to
paid?
fly on a special
So
plane.
Caitlin Clark's the highest WNBA player, and I think she's like at $260,000 a year.
No, that's her total contract.
No, I think it's a year.
I think her total contract was like.
$260,000 a year. That's it.
But then, she signed like an $8 million Nike deal right after that, though, too.
No, she makes a lot of money. But the crazy thing is, last year at Iowa, she made $5.1 million with NIL money.
Yeah. I mean, like
338,000 for 4 years.
how much
338,000
for the total, right?
total for 4 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, she doesn't make that much. So what was that? What's
That's
that
not
divide
very-
out to be over? Was it like
80?
75, 80,000?
80 would be 320.
Yeah.
So yeah, 85,000.
84.
Yeah. So $84,000 a year. You can be a welder or you can play in the WNBA and make the same amount of money. But yeah, but
like anyone who complains about, like, I think it's hilarious. It's like anyone who complains about they don't get paid enough, like all these, we need equality. Okay, you'll do everything in your power. You'll bitch, you'll whine, you'll moan, you'll groan, but you know what you won't do? Turn the fucking game on. Right? Like all these people are like bitching. It's like, well, watch them then. If all of you watch
Right.
and they had the numbers,
Drive
guess
up
what? They
demand.
get fucking paid more.
well,
But-
yeah, what's the female population of the United States?
It's half of the male. I mean, it's half of the population. It's the same
Yeah,
as a
roughly
male.
half.
Yeah, so and was it like 330 million people
Yeah.
in the U.S.? So
160
if 100
million.
now let's say half of them are feminist and care. So let's say 75 million people tuned in to watch the WNBA.
They would make money.
There you go.
They would get paid more than the NBA. Caitlin, the Iowa UConn game, or one of them, like the Final Four game, drew more fans than any NBA playoff game the year before.
Well, and I think people are kind of getting tired of the whining in the NBA also.
Basketball's for pussies.
Plus, we were talking about Eastern
terrible.
European white dudes are taking over the league.
But like, I tried watching some NBA games because a lot of the folks I work with are like big sports fellas. And like, NBA is just terrible to watch.
I watched the last
just,
4
run
minutes.
down the court, fucking throw the ball, run back.
All you need to watch is the last 4 minutes of every game. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not nearly as violent as it used to be. Maybe that's what the WNBA is trying to do, is make it like the old Celtics Pistons games.
Well, it is a little rougher.
Yeah, you get some angry lesbians out there, and they're fucking aggressive. And maybe that's what they're mad about. Like, Caitlin Clark isn't a lesbian because her boyfriend works. She has a visual boyfriend people have seen.
Yeah, he works at I think he works for the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
He probably makes more than she does.
Oh, probably for sure.
Yeah.
Not in contracts. Yeah, her WNBA money he does,
Yeah.
but she is making endorsements that
Wasn't there something they were going to make a ball or something?
she's the only one who's ever it was Michael Jordan had a ball, and she has a ball. That's it.
And I don't understand that. What do you mean by they have a ball? Like, I don't know what that means though, because like, I had a Shaq basketball back in the day.
It was Wilson contract. I think it was Wilson or.
Okay. Because somebody said that, and I was like, I don't really understand that.
So they made her own ball.
They made a Caitlin Clark basketball, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like a branded ball,
Yeah.
like a model or something.
Wait till how pissed they're going to be if they have a women's dream team basketball team, and she gets to basically pick people like Jordan did. When he wouldn't let Isaiah Thomas play on the team. I don't know. But if they want the WNBA to succeed, they need to figure out how to capitalize on their good players.
She's the draw. Just let her be the draw.
Yeah.
And I actually feel really bad for her because just the way the WNBA season and the draft works, she went through this whole college season. She went through the Big Ten championship.
Had 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off?
Yeah, and then is already in the she already played a season. People are like, she looks tired. Well, no fucking shit, she looks tired. She's already played a season. She came right back in.
And she's been getting groped and roughed up by them lesbians.
Well, she got $5 million in Iowa, right? So she could have took a year off, a little vacation.
I still think she should just say, fuck you guys and go play for Ice Cube.
Yeah, Ice Cube offered $5 million to play in that Big 3 league.
Jesus. Yeah, what is that league?
I don't.
It's
like old NBA players, isn't it?
It's a lot of older NBA players, but it's like basically half court 3-on-3.
So like Hoop It Up?
Yeah.
Hoop It Up was.
It was like Ed 1.
I think it's like there's a half court 3-on-3, so you can be a little bit older and not have to worry about running the court, and you know what I mean. They have some old players. It's supposed to be pretty good. Ice Cube, when he was on Tucker, he was talking about it.
Dude.
Is it on TV anywhere?
It was for a little
Probably.
while. Yeah, Ice Cube Big 3.
Oh, this is kind of in sports, but do you guys listen to Dana on the Andrew Scholl's podcast?
I have not. Is it new?
It's probably within the last week.
Oh,
Man, fucking UFC. The UFC story is nuts. He was managing Tito. Tito got screwed on a contract. They didn't pay him what he was supposed to get for his fight because he didn't make any money. And he was trying to negotiate another contract, his next contract, and they're like, he's trying to get Dana was trying to get Tito money, and the guys, the UFC owners, we don't have any fucking money. We might not even be able to put on our next show. And
the Fertitas?
Yeah, then he calls them, and he just happened to run back into them at a wedding, not that long ago, about that pretty close to that time. Calls them, buys it for $2 million. 2 or 3 years in, they're $40 million in the hole. 40 fucking million, thinking about trying to get out of it. Spike comes up. They pitch to Spike. Spike's like, nah, not really. We don't really care. They put the $10 million up to produce it for Spike. UFC did. They end up being one of Spike's biggest shows. I think the WWE was the only thing that was bigger on there. And Spike doesn't do any promotion, nothing for them until
that was that first season of The Ultimate Fighter, right?
Yeah, The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, I think they said that Forrest Griffin and what's his name?
Stephen Bonner.
They saved the UFC in that fight.
Yeah. Well, they made it. And so they went from $40 million in the hole, spending $10 million for the Spike thing, not having any kind of Spike, up until the episode, when that fight happened, they went out in the alley and signed the contract to make it season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter. Like they had nothing. And they went from 40-50 million in the hole to 12 to 13 billion dollar company in the meantime.
Well, and that's
Jesus.
that's Dana's loyalty to Trump, because when no one else would let him put on events, Trump's like, come to the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City and you can put on your shows there. And Trump gave him a venue like multiple times.
Right.
And he said that first time they held it there, he said Trump was there from the first fight to the end. Stayed and watched the whole thing, and he's always like supported the UFC. And
Well, Trump's a huge fight fan. Huge. I mean, he's at a ton of UFC events in Florida. Who's the guy who just won? Was it? Which one did they just have? They just have 300, or was it 301, 302?
It was 301, wasn't it?
yeah.
And he like that guy, big black dude, freaking climbs the cage just to shake Trump's hand.
Oh yeah, hopped over.
Yeah.
And then Sean Strickland, who always has just the best words to say.
He was like, "Are you guys trying to get me canceled?" And then like they play a clip of all the answers to his questions, and one of the media guys like, "We don't have to try and get you canceled, Sean." Like you're
Yeah, there's that one where they're like talking to him about his phone or something like that. He's like, "No, I got a fucking Android. I'm not some China loving faggot with an Apple."
Yeah.
Oh, that guy never lets you down.
Yeah,
Well,
but the
I miss
UFC,
I used to like Chael Sonnen. He used to always have some good ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not around anymore.
but like Lionsgate had all the rights to the UFC, like to all the UFC. Lionsgate had it. They bought it back from Lionsgate for like $2 or $3 million, trying to like get some stuff back. Can you imagine? Like Spike got nothing since Spike didn't put the money up. Spike had nothing for it. They own no rights to it.
Well, look at some of his businesses. Like, you ever seen the stories of like the guys from Tap Out? They just like hang out in the parking lot of UFC fights and like sell fight shirts, and then they like kind of end up partnering up with them.
Yeah.
And then they got fucking massively huge. And then they end up partnering with like the WWE, I think is where they're at now. But yeah, those guys just started like in the parking lot at UFC fights.
Yeah, Dana's loyal, and he will go. I mean, he was a grinder. He saw it.
Well, it wasn't part of the thing is he kind of got chased out of Boston, didn't he?
Yeah,
He had like a fitness studio, and some of the Boston like mob guys were basically like, you got to start paying us for protection. And he was like, fuck that.
yeah. So he bought a one-way ticket to Vegas.
Yeah. And just flew out to Vegas just to avoid the mob there.
Yeah, it was just the way his life. Just the way his life ended up. It seemed like everything happened for a reason. It's like one of those things like, you know, he flew to Vegas, like it ended up being the biggest thing for him, right? He went to this one wedding. He like never went to weddings. Went to this one wedding. The
Fertitta brothers were there.
yeah, and I guess he went to high school with him, but he didn't really know him. But it was like, you know, brought back that connection. Just nuts. Oh, and then he was in the New York offices when they bought the UFC, and he's just watching a bunch of tapes, and it was a Rogan tape on one of the Wayans brothers.
Was he on there? Yeah, they saw Rogan on a show. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was on one of the Wayans brothers, and he was talking about fighting and stuff like that.
He was on one of the late shows or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was just talking about how cool the UFC was because he was on news radio.
Yep.
And that's how they brought Rogan in.
Oh, he was Fear Factor too, I think, at the time.
Yeah, Fear Factor is such a strange show. Do you
I,
ever
don't
know?
know, I think Rogan was on Fear Factor after UFC.
No,
No, I don't think so.
You sure?
I am.
Have you ever noticed there's never any ugly people on Fear Factor? So when we go up to Coach X's cabin, they don't get much service up there.
So you watch some Fear Factor
Fear
DVDs?
Factor's like what comes in, and it's just like there's never ugly people on Fear Factor. There's never ugly, like out of shape people.
He started at UFC in 1997, it said.
No.
That's what it says. February 7th of 97 is when Rogan started.
Well,
Rogan began working for mixed martial arts promotion Ultimate Fighting Championship as a backstage and post-fight interviewer February 7th of 97. That had to be before Fear Factor.
well, yeah, but
Do you know
Dana,
who their first
Fear
announcer
Factor
was?
2000.
Dana didn't fight it until 2001.
Yeah, but it was still going on before then because you know who the original announcer was? Brian Kilmeade from Fox News.
Was it?
Yeah, that dude was like he called UFC 1, I think. But yeah, I don't think Dana was he wasn't part of the very first.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
No, he bought it for $2 million.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember fucking getting the pay-per-views, watching fucking
Dude.
Chuck Liddell.
Yeah.
fuck yeah, like renting the videos from the old Blockbuster.
Well, that's what they said. Dana said their first income stream was DVD sales.
Yeah. Yeah, it was either you could buy UFC fights or bum fights.
All the old UFCs are on YouTube now, and they're fun. They're fun to watch.
They're fucking awesome.
Dude, who's that? Don Fry? Who's that guy? Where
Don Fry.
Yeah, he just says all of them now.
Don Fry's a maniac.
And he just says they're all pussies now.
Yeah.
He's like they're painting their fingernails like a bunch of fucking pussies.
Dude, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, I feel like Don Fry just like worked construction all day and then just like showed up to fight.
Like the first 4 of them, there was no rules. People are getting elbowed in the head, and just
There were no rounds.
Just unbelievably, yeah.
There were no rounds. There was no ref. There was no ref in the cage. There was no weight classes, and it was a Grand Prix style.
Yeah. So if you won, you had like 3 or 4 fights that night.
And until the Gracie showed up and just started fucking breaking arms and shit like that. And then people were like, oh, we should learn to do more than just punch each other in the face.
Some of the pre-fight interviews with some of those dudes are awesome too. They all get like, yeah, I'm just going into their background and showing them like doing their martial arts moves and stuff, and they go out there and just get absolutely destroyed. Those are some of those old ones are awesome.
But can you imagine buying a company, being $40-50 million in debt, and then turning it into a $12 to $13 billion company?
Did Dana actually buy into it though, or was he?
I
Fertitta's bought it, right? But then Dana
bought it, but I think Dana had ownership in it for like
sweat equity kind of a thing. Because I know when they sold it, he got
paid.
He got paid. And I think Rogan got paid too.
I think everyone got paid.
I think Rogan got paid and then got like a restricted, not restricted, but his choice of. I only do like fucking 2 pay-per-view or 12. I think he only does 12 pay-per-views a year, doesn't he, or something like that?
Yeah, 12 or 14 or something like that.
Yeah, which he used to do everything.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a. But was like, what are the odds of that? But like Bellator is still around.
Yeah.
And Bellator, they said, has been like hemorrhaging money for years. But they pick up some old UFC guys.
Well, and then he was talking about what's his slap one? What's his slap?
Power slap.
Power slap. Power slap's worth like $750 million already, and it's only 15
I
months
just feel like whoever goes first, like whoever goes first has the best chance of winning.
There's all kinds of rules. Like you can't flinch, you can't load up, or like you can't use your body, you can't twist. Or I tried watching.
Yeah.
Like this is just.
Yeah, but when you're scrolling through like Instagram. Like if you're scrolling through and you see someone about to get slapped, you stop.
Yeah, you're like, all right, do it.
But watching a whole event of it,
Like a bracket.
I mean, it's sprout. I mean, there's a lot of rules that go into it. Yeah,
I've never watched an event, but I have watched a lot of people getting fucking slapped on like reels. Apparently, like their reels have more, like Power Slap reels have more viewers than like any Taylor Swift video.
But that's been going on forever because there was that guy, Kirill, that Russian dude that had the bench record.
Yeah.
He was always with that one fat guy that slapped everybody before it was like a structured
Like
sport.
Butterball
he's
or
like
something,
slapping
yeah.
fucking watermelons and shit. Yeah, I saw that guy. I know you're talking
But then
about.
they started doing it, but they would just like stand over a table and slap each other. Like there was, and nobody's there to catch them. Like,
Yeah, they were like had a barrel and 2 handles.
I think that's more dangerous than fighting because it seems to me a lot of those guys who are really good at it before, like they never got knocked out. Then once their switch gets flipped to where they've been knocked out a couple times,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to knock them out after
Like
that.
Chuck.
Yeah. And it seems like that's like that dude that you're talking about. He would never finally somebody put him to sleep, and now he not what he used to be, and that just seems that's crazy to me.
But like you don't. The thing is, you don't need like these premier athletes to slap people. Like you don't need conditioning, right?
I just like they have to hold like a pool noodle behind their back. That's like the best thing is it's like $1 million sport, and they're like, here, hold this fucking pool noodle behind your back.
But you don't need
Little get slapped.
You need no conditioning. Like anyone can do it. Like we could just go sign up for a slap event.
Well, it's like it's
Like they have their pool of people is unlimited.
well, it's like when they used to have Omaha Fight Club here.
Oh yeah.
And literally, like, if someone didn't show up, they
would
just like
pull
go to
someone
the
out of the audience.
Yeah, they're like, does anybody have like any gym shorts? They can just fucking jump in here. Yeah, I mean,
They used to do fights at Rednecks, that bar.
and Shea Perry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, who was Tim?
Yeah, Tim ran it.
Blazer?
Tim Baser.
Baser, yeah.
Yeah. Tim Baser ran the old OFC.
It was, oh my God.
Yeah. Very underground.
Free beer for the night if you guys get in here and fight. Just tap beer, though. Nothing's fancy.
Yeah. If you have gym shorts in the crowd, let's get out here.
Yeah, but he said 15 months worth $750 million already. Like, that's a...
But, you know, if it didn't have Dana White or UFC tagged on it, or that association, that probably wouldn't be what it is.
Well, they said there was a bunch of, like, Polish and, like, Russian...
yeah, that was Kirill.
Yeah. Like, leagues and stuff. So, like, they just started their own. Like, there is nothing to buy. So he just started his own.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they just, like, met in the hallway at a hotel and just slapped each other. Like, I don't think it was, like, structured. Because that Kirill, some friends of mine know him, and I think he was like pretty affiliated with like the Russian mob.
Yeah,
because they went over to see him, and like he had like a Lambo or something like that, and he would just drive like 100 down main streets, and like no one did anything, like no one stopped him. Like he was just pretty deeply, because he held the bench press record for a while, didn't he, Matt? Mm-hmm. And it was like 7 something, like the 714 or something like that, or 730. Yeah, he's a large human. Yeah. But yeah, once they structure it, how long does it go though with Power Slap? You know,
I don't know. Like if with social media and reels, man, like it's always going to be there. Like it'll be 10 years from now, and I'll be scrolling, and it'll be like, oh, someone's getting slapped. Let's watch this.
She's gonna get knocked out. Oh, watch it.
Dude, has anybody seen the clip of the? I can't remember what country it's in. They're in a cage, and it's 2 girls versus 1 guy.
Yeah.
Have you seen that super fat guy, and he just like beats those 2 girls?
Did you see Eddie Hall just fought a couple of
2 midgets? Yeah.
Well, they weren't. I don't think they were midgets. They just looked midget. They were 65.
No, I think they were midgets.
They were 65 kilo fighters.
Dude, he fucking launched those 2.
I know, but they were 65 kilo fighters. So they were what, 150?
He threw both of them and then hit one of them, and the ref stopped the fight.
Yeah, that was great.
But did you see the one where the 2 girls fought the fat guy?
He powerbombed one of those little dudes. Yeah.
He fucking blasted that one girl, like she had her back to him, and he just fucking blasted her in the side. She goes down.
And then he chased the other one down. The girl was running from him across the ring and chased her down. And
I assume they're like, hey, you can either fight this guy or get trafficked. So you have to pick.
Yeah, what country was that in?
Poland, I think.
Yeah, it was like, you're either getting trafficked or fighting this fucking old butterbean over here.
You're probably right. The one with Eddie Hall, it's probably regular size humans. And
they were 65 kilo fighters.
He just looks huge.
What's a midget weigh?
Not 140 pounds.
They were pretty in shape midgets. They probably didn't.
I don't think they were midgets. I just think they looked midget-like compared to Eddie Hall.
All right.
Wasn't that Andrew Dice Clay? Come on, you know the midgets just came back as pure entertainment.
It was Andrew Dice.
Yeah. They're reincarnated. Their arms are 2 inches too short to do anything.
Hands growing out of their armpits.
Are you looking up the Eddie Hall midget fight?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't midgets.
I mean, Eddie Hall's not like 7 foot tall, though.
No, he's like 6'2", but he's just gigantic.
Yeah, but 6'2". I mean, those guys had to be height challenged.
Well, they're 140 pounds. They're little.
They're not. Yeah.
They're not midgets. No. What were they? Like 5'5", 5'6"?
Does it say height impaired?
No.
Damn it. Does it say midgets?
They are. A couple of them ran. One of them. The whole fight's right here. It's only 3 minutes long, and they're running. One of them's running from him.
But
it says, does it say how big they are?
I'm looking.
On the thing, it said they were 65 kilos. That's the only thing I saw.
I feel like this whole episode is just like dedicated to Obscure Sports Quarterly.
Yeah. Exactly.
I just saw the video of the fat guy fighting the chicks. That was hilarious.
Dude, he just fucking works those girls.
He just like walks around and just like punches them.
Did you guys watch Roseanne?
No.
Yeah. Back in the day?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When Jackie she's a cop and she's talking about her like defensive tactics and she's going to take Dan down. And she just jumps on his back and he just keeps walking around.
Yeah.
That's what that fight reminded me of. Where she's like, I could take you down. And he just starts laughing. He's like, please. She tries to get the sneak attack on him. And he just like walks around acting like she's not there. Are you still reading about these midgets or are you watching it?
I'm reading. They're not. They're just smaller men. They're not.
Speaking of like back to the power slap. What do you think? I bet that gets a ton of betting.
Those guys were brothers that Eddie fought.
Oh.
They look like they could have been related.
Jamil and Jamel Nafetti.
Jamil, is that chick that used to be on ESPN? But yeah, what do you think the betting? I bet the betting is huge on Power Slap.
I bet you it's like, okay,
Because it's so fast paced.
Yeah, but who goes first?
So the twins that Eddie fought are 5'3" and weigh 10 stone. How much ever 10 stone is, I guess.
65 kilos.
And they probably had to walk like 40 poot to get there.
Let's see, 10 stone to pounds. Because we're in America.
Do you remember the old 5-star notebooks that had all those like conversions, like hogsheads
Yeah.
and whatever?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. I
Those were
never,
handy.
But I had one of those things like all the time, but not one of them said like how much was in a fuckload or a shitload.
140, 5'3", 140. So
140 is a stone.
10 stone is 140.
That's 10 stones, so it's 14 pounds.
Yeah.
What a dumb number, 14.
That is dumb.
That's not even an even kilo.
Well, they weren't measuring in kilos, fucker. Stones were before kilos.
Well, I know, but how do you come up with 14?
How do you know how much the stone weighed?
Yeah, that's a good point, too.
It was just the average stone size. I have no idea. But, I mean, like a yard is a step, right? Like, we didn't have tape measures, so they measured it in a step. They called it a yard. A foot is your foot. An inch is your thumb.
Amber's step and my step are both very different.
Yep.
See?
Men were the only one measuring shit back then, so it was just
Such a sex.
I know. The whole time. We're sorry.
But yeah, this could totally just be an episode of Obscure Sports Quarterly.
yeah.
I should have looked when I was in Vegas about the betting odds
You should have.
for
You can
Power
bet on
Slap.
anything anymore. Anything.
I don't know. Ask Norman.
Yeah, Norman probably knows.
Norman probably does know.
Speaking of fighting, what happened to Mike Tyson? I didn't read the article, I guess. Did he
He had an ulcer or something like that.
I think he's fine though.
But they're fighting. They moved it. It's November now. They rescheduled it for November.
they're still going to fight? I thought he...
So I saw some fucked up thing that in his contract, Mike makes less money if he wins in the first round or if he knocks Paul out.
Well, they want it to go longer, I'm sure.
Fuck that.
I don't think he cares about that.
Oh, and I thought Mike Tyson was a little bit younger. He is 58.
Yeah, he's almost 60.
Jesus.
Fuck. Like he should not be fighting.
He looks good.
He should not be fighting. You're almost 60 years
Like
old.
I told you, like Drew said that time,
Agreed.
everybody looks good hitting the bag. I thought Ronda Rousey looked great going into her last fight, and she got fucking worked. She did not last.
Well, actually, Dana was talking about that. That a lot of these people who just win in the UFC, if they start walking through people, the first time they're challenged, they fucking fall off.
Look at the guy from, not to say his name, fucking I don't care. You probably know. Look at Mirsad Bektik.
Yeah.
As soon as Mirsad was fucking phenomenal until he lost,
And
and
then
then
it
he just like off a cliff.
Yeah.
But that's the problem is I think sometimes people's managers will set them up with a bunch of, let's call them tomato cans all the time. They'll set them up with just a bunch of like shitty fights to build your confidence. And then when you fight somebody good that fucking knocks you out, it just shatters your fucking confidence.
I just
like
don't think
Rocky 3, man. Mick totally let Rocky down. His whole, then he ran into Clubber Lang. You know?
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I think taking on tougher opponents early, learning how to lose and come back from it is huge.
So,
Which
I
that's a
don't-
good life lesson, by the way.
I don't think there are very many tomato
True.
cans in the UFC.
No, but I think when you're fighting like some of the local, like when
Yeah.
Mirsad was fighting like local, and I'm not trying to shit on Mirsad, he's like super athletic and he was good.
He was a good fighter, yeah.
But I think locally, when you can fight some people that probably are like, 'cause especially like when you're early in some fighting, your athleticism is a lot bigger deal than maybe your fight skill.
Yeah.
And you're fighting people who are not anywhere near your fucking level of athleticism.
He was athletic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So you
actually,
can just like out athlete people early on.
Yeah, I remember like Brian Houston was super athletic too. I don't know if you remember Brian
Yeah.
Houston. He was super athletic too, and that guy fucking
Mirsad actually started with us in Lincoln.
yeah.
Like me and Steve, like he came in and he was fucking fast, man. He had some hands.
But so then he came up here and trained.
Yep.
And I trained him and Drew and some of those guys together. But then he just like skated out of town and was guy. He would skate out of town and just like not thank anybody, nothing. You
Is
know
he
what I
in
mean?
Canada now?
He was training at wherever at GSP's place. So yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And then he married that girl that looks like his sister. So,
Nothing wrong with that. It's fine.
but whatever, fuck that guy. He fucking like skated out here and didn't say shit to anybody. Didn't ever give like Omaha any credit of anything.
Don't hold back.
I didn't. He's not in the UFC anymore, so sorry.
No, but so Dana said this, and I want to get your opinion on it. The best UFC, he said the best fighter ever, greatest of all time, is John Jones.
I mean, John Jones is really good, but he failed so many drug tests. Like, how do you still give him?
Who cares?
Who cares?
I don't give a flying fuck. He went into that one all coked up and bloated and still won. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like,
Yeah, no, I think John Jones is. I mean,
I think he's probably right.
I'm not saying he's not right, but how many of us have competed in a strength sport and it's supposed to be drug free and someone isn't drug free?
okay. I'm just saying, if you locked,
He just got caught.
if you locked John Jones in a room with anybody in the planet, do you ever think John Jones isn't the one walking out?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, I think there's people who are like killers way more than he is. I don't think he has the mental fortitude to be locked in a room.
Oh, I think. Well, I don't know because he
Chuck Norris.
Like he just
Exactly. Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal, for
Fucking
sure.
Chuck Norris.
Van
all
Damme.
day. Chuck Norris right now.
What about that Asian guy from Bloodsport who with the crazy eyes?
Oh, Tung Po. Or no, is that from Kickboxer?
Yep.
Kickboxer.
Bolo. It was Bolo.
Bolo
Yeah, Chung Li.
Yeah, it's Chun Li's his name.
Li.
But his name, his real name is Bolo. He was in some Bruce Lee movies.
That was
too.
a great movie. By
Bruce
the
Lee
way.
movies.
Dude,
yeah.
that era, that dude from Bloodsport was in like every because all the bad guys were always from Chinatown and then like in the 80s, and it was always that guy. He's just always peck popping.
Yeah, he was always peck popping.
He's always
He
peck
was-
popping.
I think he
fucking-
was a Korean bodybuilder before he started. Well, he was always into martial arts, obviously, but he used to be bodybuild too. That's why he was so jacked.
No, I think John Jones is a great fighter. I'm just saying. I get drugs or not. I'm just saying in general, if you're competing in something that's supposed to be drug free, then do it drug free. Everybody says, "Oh, he still would have won." Maybe he wouldn't have.
Okay. What is your saying?
If you want to be the best in the world, do what it takes.
Drug tested doesn't mean drug free.
I understand
That's
that
what
too.
I said. He just got caught. The other guys didn't
Yeah.
get caught.
I understand that too.
I think what I liked about John Jones is he looked like a regular dude. You know what I mean? He's
Especially
like,
some of his last fights are like, you look
looks
kind of
like-
sloppy, John.
yeah, he looks like skinny fat, like a regular dude. Just goes out there and whoops everybody's ass. Like, all right, what are we doing after this? Drink
But,
some beers.
But Anderson Silva was also untouchable until he wasn't anymore.
But no one's touched Jones.
Well, because he can't stay in the UFC long enough.
But every time he fights, he wins. He is undefeated.
Yeah.
I do think that is kind of a cloud on him, is that you can say that he didn't have enough fights because he could never pass a drug test. And if he would have had more fights, eventually everybody finds
Everyone
a way.
gets
Somebody
caught,
finds
yeah.
a way to beat you. It happens to everybody.
And we say that now, but let's say you're fighting John Jones and there's like a $10 million purse on the line, and you know that he's fucking taking drugs and you're not, and you know what I mean. You're gonna be a little more fucking pissed. Like I wouldn't have cried like a little bitch like Daniel Cormier did.
But I probably just taken drugs if I was in that arena. And I'm like,
Let's even this shit
I
out.
might get beat by this guy. All right, I'm gonna do.
But
drugs.
I think his drug testing might be a little more lax than some other people's drug
I'm just
testing.
going to let you know that if someone said you could fight John Jones and it's going to be drug tested, I'm still going to do drugs.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna play by the rules,
I'm just
Which
saying.
nobody does. Like all professional sports are supposed to be drug-free, drug tested, and we know for damn sure they're not.
I mean, who cares about drug
don't.
testing in sports? Like,
no one does. I'm not saying.
let the dudes in the NFL take all the roids, snort some cocaine. Like, I want to see somebody's head get ripped off on Sunday. Okay?
You can't anymore. You
Yeah,
can't even
that's what I'm
tackle.
talking about. That's what I used to love watching football in the 90s. You know, it was football. You know,
Somebody had
People-
that flashback when they had the giant neck rolls of just like eliminating people. You didn't
Yeah.
tackle them, you fucking like eliminated them.
That's why
Lawrence
wide-
Taylor just fucking did a line right before the game.
Well,
and
dude,
fucking
did you
went
see
out.
this
Wide
year?
receivers never used to come over the middle because the linebackers would destroy them.
Just fucking crush
Well,
them.
did you
Yeah.
see they're gonna let them wear those padded fucking helmets this year now? The extra crown things or whatever they're wearing in practice. They're gonna
Yeah.
allow those in games.
They are, but was that the NFL or is that just like college?
No, the NFL's going to. Those like shells or whatever they call them. There used to be that giant guy for the Niners that was on the line, and he wore that shell, and it'd always fall off like every play. It was like an extra helmet.
I get the whole like not wanting to be brain dead at the end of your career, but let me put it to you this way: let's say you're 22 years old and you're a star athlete, and you're coming out of the pros, and they tell you they're like, hey,
You might be like retarded in fucking 3 years.
In 20 years, you're going to make all this money. In 20 years, you're probably going to have a lot of pain, forget your name and all this stuff. Do you think anybody's going to not sign the contract?
That's what
They'll
I said.
still sign it.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
just get rid of all the CT stuff. I'm making them sign contracts. Be like, we're not fucking liable for this. You could have a massive career.
They could lay it all out. This could happen to you. You know, this could be you. Do you still want to do this? It's up to you.
Especially now when they're getting fucking contracts for $35 million a year, $50 million a year.
And the pros was never meant to be a 20-year thing. You're supposed to play for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
and
Tom
move
Brady's
on.
the exception.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with like World's Strongest Man. You know all those guys. They're choosing to have a shorter life to be the world's strongest man. You cannot live a long life being 6'8".
But they do that
400
right.
pounds.
They only drug test for street drugs. I think they only test for cocaine.
Yeah.
They don't test for anabolics.
No, they don't care about
They
that.
don't test, but they're still supposed to be drug free.
No, I think
No, they're
didn't
not.
Benzel say they only test for street drugs? I think.
I think it was like
They only test, but
cocaine and an EKG.
Yeah, they just want to make sure you're not going to fucking have a stroke
they're
on
not
the fucking.
testing, but like the rules still say like no PEDs. They just don't test for it
Okay.
because they're like, we don't want to know. We just have to, on paper, we have to tell you that you're not allowed to do it.
Well, you know,
but we're not going to verify. We're not going to test.
And I bet it's actually just for more lawsuits. Because look at the WWE. There's really no reason they can't all be on drugs, but they just got fucking sued all the time. Remember when Chris Benoit fucking supposedly the steroids made him crazy and he killed his whole family?
Yeah.
And then the WWE got sued for that. So it's probably more just their fucking legal end of it.
Kids, do not do drugs.
No, don't do drugs.
But no, I don't
Stay in
disagree
school.
that John Jones is probably one of the best fighters to ever come through the UFC. I think Anderson Silva at his prime and John Jones would have been a good fight to watch.
You know who my favorite fighter growing up was Hendo. I loved Henderson. Dan Henderson.
Yeah.
He came over from Pride. And at one point in time, he was like the 205 and the 185 champ at the same time.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that time he destroyed Michael Bisping. Took that punch from the.
Is that when Bisping
Top
lost
rapper.
his eye?
No, I don't. I think that was somebody else that did that to him. But he was talking all kinds of smack before that, and it was in the UK too when Henderson knocked him out, and it was.
I like Bisping when he's like an announcer. He's pretty entertaining.
Michael Bisping's got a good story too. He had, he basically lied about not being able to see out of his eye, so he could keep fighting.
Uh-huh.
Like one of those things where someone's telling you how many fingers they're holding
Yeah,
up.
he's. I think I don't know what the number is, but he's pretty much blind in that eye, and no one ever. He was like, "Oh no, I'm good."
Wasn't that?
No, doesn't he have a glass eye now?
I don't know.
I think he's got a fake eye now, doesn't he?
He might. I don't. That might be true, but
I just wear an eye patch. I wouldn't
Yeah.
wear a fucking fake eye. I'd wear a fucking sweet ass eye patch.
I could be wrong though, but I thought he did. But
Fuck yeah.
man, I want this championship. I'd give my right eye. You know what I mean?
yeah, cross my T's and dot my lowercase J's. Yeah, speaking of UFC, Drew's fighting July 13th in Denver.
Looks like a good fight too.
It should be a good card. Got my tickets.
Little home fight for him.
Yeah. Amber and I are gonna fly out and go watch the fight. Well, hopefully. When you they have like a kind of a friends and family thing. You can get some tickets. And so I was buying tickets, and then it was like, well, if these aren't available, do you want lower ones? And I was like, no. But I thought it'd be like Ticketmaster, where it like kicks you out and you got to like start back over. No, but just like, oh, okay, we'll let you know if you get them. Because you like putting dibs on tickets basically.
Yeah.
So you don't get charged or anything until like whenever they release. And I was like, oh, all right.
Well, good luck to you.
Yeah, fuck. I was like, well, I'll just buy them from some scalper. But we're gonna make a quick trip out there. But yeah, that'll be a good fight for him. And I think is it Rose Namajunas is the main fight,
Yep.
and then some other lady I couldn't pronounce.
He's
her
main
name.
card, right?
I didn't look at the layout of the fights yet, but I assume it's a fight night. So,
Yep.
but yeah, this is the second time Amber and I've seen Rose fight. But yeah, I can't pronounce the girl who she's fighting. Not the slightest clue.
Dude, when Dober posted that, him and the other guy just look freaking. They're both just yoked. They're just, when you get those light guys, they just, man, they're just freaking shredded.
I've never seen that guy fight. His record's pretty decent.
And then you see like Jones or the heavyweight guys, and they're just sloppy. Like they're like, I mean,
Right.
you know they're athletic and they're in shape. I'm not like they don't have the physique.
What's the big black dude that's always like really funny?
My balls is hot.
Yeah, I was at that fight when he did that. Ah, dude, what's that guy's name? He's fucking.
I don't know. I could probably just Google my balls is hot and figure it out. real
He's
quick.
super funny.
was
It's
that other
Derek.
dude?
Is it
His
Derek
name was-
Lewis?
Derek Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Roy, was that his name? The big fat
Big
guy.
country?
Yeah, big country.
Roy Nelson?
Roy Nelson, that's what it was. He was always super sloppy too.
Yeah.
But didn't he like have some sort of like he just like didn't have any furniture in his house? He just had like fucking jujitsu mats or something like that, like
Probably.
in his dining room. But yeah, he fought for a long time too.
Never looked in shape.
No, you don't really. When you're a heavyweight, I mean, you're not making it 3 rounds anyways.
No,
No, if it
Someone's
goes the
getting knocked
distance, you're
out.
fucked. Yeah.
I remember when I watched when Francis Ngannou fought up in I think Minneapolis. Drew fought on that card, and I can't remember who he fought, but he punched that guy so fucking hard with an uppercut. The other guy looked like a Pez dispenser. His fucking head just shot up and he went out. I was like, Francis Ngannou was a scary human.
Who did Brock Lesnar fought that dude from Denver? He actually came here.
Yeah, he's like an engineer. That guy's like an engineer.
Yeah.
Like yeah, the UFC was just like for fun.
And that guy was beating the shit out of Lesnar and then just ran out of gas. And Lesnar is a freaking peak athlete, just won the next round, but he was beating his fucking ass the entire first round.
God, was that UFC 100 when Lesnar fought, and he fought Randy Couture? Did he fight Randy Couture? And like it looks so rigged. Like he like grazed Randy Couture and he just like flopped on the ground and like he was out. I was like,
Did they fight?
Was it Randy Couture? Look at UFC. I think it was UFC 100. What was that guy's name that you're talking about though from Denver? The guy that works next door for me. His brother used to train with him.
Yeah, he actually came to Lincoln and like we went out with him.
Yeah, he's
near.
No. Oh, was that UFC?
No, the UFC 100.
That's
It was
who
Lesnar
Mir.
versus Frank Mir.
that's who Lesnar fought. God, maybe that
Yeah.
wasn't him then. Maybe it was one of Randy Couture's last fights.
No, he did fight Randy Couture. It's on here.
Who Lesnar did?
Shane Carwin.
Shane Carwin, yeah. But Randy Couture, who was that was one of Randy's last fights, I think, wasn't it? But it was like
UFC 91 and 08 they fought.
it was one of those where he just like
Randy Couture is 60 years old.
wow.
Yeah.
Lesnar can't be super. Or Lesnar not 60, but Lesnar's got to be like into his 40s, maybe even 50 almost. His daughter looks just like him, and I feel bad for her.
Lesnar's 46.
I was gonna say he's got to be getting up there.
Lesnar's a freaking specimen because he played for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Well, and he was like undefeated at Minnesota's wrestling, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Wasn't he like a multi-time national champ?
Like
Yeah.
a national champion.
I mean, that guy is a physical specimen.
Chuck Liddell's 54.
Makes
I
you
bet
feel-
in brain years, Chuck Liddell's like 97.
I saw a photo of him recently. I saw a
197.
photo of him recently, and he is not looking good.
When we were out in Vegas for some fights, it was the one he was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. We were in breakfast with Drew, and Chuck came in there, and I was like, it'd be really cool to get a picture with Chuck, but I don't want to bother him.
What is with you,
Should
Matt?
have fanboyed him.
Not bothering people.
Yeah, you could have got a picture of the Rich Piana, and you shit the bed on that one too.
I know. Could have got a picture with Head from Korn at the airport too. Oh, yeah. So we came back from Vegas. We switched our flight to come back earlier because Amber didn't have more classes that day. And so we're just like sitting in the airport, and somebody's like, "Hey, you mind if I sit here?" And I was like, "No, that's cool." It was Terrence Crawford. I didn't figure he would fly Southwest to come back. So we were talking to him for a little bit because he knows Norm.
Yep.
And I was like, he's like, "Oh, big Norm." I go, "I mean, let's call it what it is, big upper body Norm." Come on, leg day's not happening there. But yeah, he was out there. We're training at the UFC Performance Institute. And it was funny. I was like, "How many fights you got left?" He's like, 2. He was like, "I'd have been done after the last one, but the money's too good." I was like, "Yeah, but I was like, in 5 years, you're getting kind of old." He's like, "Yeah, and I don't get it." He's like, "You know what I understand?" I was like, people always like want to come up and be like, "Oh, hey man," they like, punch you in the shoulder. Dude, nobody likes to get hit. He's like, "I don't want to get fucking hit. I don't enjoy getting hit." He's like, "If I didn't get paid, I would not be doing this." He's like, whatever he
Right.
assumes when you're like a boxer or fighter, like, hey man, they want to hit you. Like, oh, you can take it. No, man, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I tolerate it. No one really wants to get hit.
He's got a big fight coming up.
Yeah, it's another guy. I can't pronounce his name either.
Yeah.
But that's coming, what, August something? But he said he was flying. They were flying back to Omaha and then basically.
Israel Madronov.
Yeah.
But I think he's 2 weight classes up. And I think this is the setup for him fighting Canelo.
Who? Terrence?
Yeah.
Oh. But he said he was literally flying back to Omaha and then jumping in his truck and driving out to, he's got a house they train out in Colorado Springs or something.
Yep.
And he was driving out there to finish camp.
Yep.
Hey, you never know who's going to be on a Southwest flight. Like I said, Head from Corn got off a Southwest flight. Look, Terrence jumping on a Southwest flight, but no, I didn't take a picture with him either.
Yeah.
As soon as he got in line, like some dude like pulled like a Terrence Crawford shirt out of his bag. Who just carries that around? Just pulls a shirt out of his bag and gets a picture with him.
Well, that guy was prepared.
That guy deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That guy was fucking ready.
You wouldn't even ask.
No.
Yep. He had a fucking shirt ready.
Babe, you taking that shirt again? You never fucking know. You know?
He is. I
Is
think
that
he's the
Randy
best
Jackson's signature?
Yeah. On a sword?
Yeah, I was walking down the street and all I had on me is a samurai sword. I'm not going to get a Randy Jackson signature.
You can't pass off an autograph from the dog. The one thing I should have took a picture of was we were walking down the street in Vegas, and I think this fucking homeless guy caught the dragon. Yeah, he was frozen
Oh,
in
yeah?
time. Yeah, he was frozen in time. He was standing there like he took a step, but just froze. Like he was like holding a cigarette, and he didn't move as we all walked past him. He didn't blink
Was
or
he
anything.
one of those like mimes that just like hangs out there and you can go position him? Did
No,
you
there
try
was
to
no
change him?
there was no money bucket or anything.
Yeah, but he smelled like a dead body. That's the only difference.
He could have been
Bless
like dead and just like hardened right there.
Yeah.
But
Maybe.
we walked past. I turned around and looked back again. And I was like, dude, I think that guy's like stuck. So when I saw Kelly last night, I was like, dude, I think a guy caught the dragon and lived. Kelly's like, oh, that's it.
Did you go back and see if he moved?
Nah, we were doing some other shit later. He might be dead. When we were in Chicago one time, we walked around this body, and I think she was dead later on because the ambulance came and picked her up.
Yeah.
She didn't move at all. And she was laying like in the middle of the corner, like not even off to the side.
It's normal.
Ooh.
I mean, Matt's in Philadelphia right now. He could probably tell you some stories.
Yeah. That was like
That's true.
That was actually the weirdest thing I saw in Vegas while we were there.
That is pretty weird.
Yeah, just frozen. But well, I think we really covered a lot of obscure sports quarterly here.
Yeah.
He went well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really all over the place, but all together at the same time.
I think we kind of almost stayed on topic.
Yeah, you know, we covered sports like people don't really care about, like Power Slap and the WNBA.
There's somebody out there right now. It's like, what are you talking about? Don't care about power slap.
Yeah,
I've been training
They're
my whole
training
life.
right now on their watermelon.
Yeah.
yeah, or OSQ.
So you can't. I mean, let's just say you were going to let's just say we decided we're going to do power slap. We can't really slap each other. Like that's a really
They
bad.
probably
way to-
just have, you know, like those boxing. You know those. It looks like a
Like a heavy bag.
no, like you know in boxing they have a thing that looks like a stick and they hit it and it spins around.
Yeah.
Do you think that one of those just like charges up and like slaps them, and then like the speed like just picks up each time?
I have no idea.
You just walk over and like, God damn it, Dave, you're passed out in the garage again. Like, just gets knocked out by the fucking. Maybe their wife hits them all the time. Maybe they're in abusive relationships.
But like, you don't want to get slapped a bunch.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Like you don't want to like you don't want to be like sparring and just like catch one.
They wear mouthpieces, right?
Yeah. Well, I would fucking hope so.
They put stuff in their ear too, so they don't explode their eardrums.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably just have like a fucking stick thing that just slaps them and just like gets them used to it. You got to build up that scar tissue.
I have no idea.
Scar tissue on your face.
No, in their brain.
You'd have
Oh,
to.
yeah, that's what
all
you
of it.
need.
Should we do some?
We're trying to knock some of these ridges down. I want to need a smooth brain.
I don't
for
need a
this.
memory.
Yeah.
Should we try some power slap?
No.
You guys should right now. Yeah, I would if I was there.
I'll
I'd
go
totally do
first.
it.
Whoever
wait.
go first to win.
We'll wait for Matt to get back. He said he's into it.
So we'll watch you guys do it.
He's probably doing it with some fucking homeless guy in Philadelphia right now.
Are we talking about slapping or something else?
Well, it starts with slapping.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It starts with slapping.
Yeah.
You got to knock before you go in.
Yeah. Your face was wet in the beginning, like mine was in the end.
Yeah, I put a sock on the door. They know.
Yeah. All right, good work, everyone.
Yeah. Solid performance.
Yeah, we hope you learned something from any of this, so you can be a little less shitty every day.
Learn something from yeah.
You know what? What we actually learned is you can do anything, really.
Yes.
No matter what you set your mind to, you can do anything. Literally anything.
And people will watch literally anything if it's entertaining.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
If it's entertaining, they don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
So if it's something that makes their life feel better,
Yeah.
you win. All right, guys. Well,
How could you not listen to this and laugh? Come on.
the entertainment value is golden.
Yeah.
True.
All right. Well, like I said, hopefully you learned something. Like, subscribe, share, follow, download, do all the things. And, so we can keep bringing you these positive messages. And we'll see you next time.